What's up, guys and girls? It's Jesse Daley here in the Caribbean. I hold a certificate in weather forecasting from Penn State University, and I appreciate your being here on my channel. My friends, the weather can change very quickly, as many of us are aware. We have not one, but two tropical systems that have formed today. Today is Sunday, June 8th. We have Tropical Storm Barbara and Tropical Storm Cosme in the eastern Pacific. There's also another area in the eastern Pacific that may experience some development later this week. So it's certainly busy right now. Let's take a quick look at what is going to occur, or what the National Hurricane Center believes will occur with Barbara and Cosme. By the way, both of these systems may intensify into hurricanes. Let's start here with Tropical Storm Barbara. Now, my friends, this is the, as of 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, the look at, from the National Hurricane Center, the projected track of Tropical Storm Barbara, which currently, as of 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, has maximum sustained winds of 60 miles per hour. But as we can see, as we move forward a couple of days here, the system is expected to continue to intensify before entering an area of cooler sea surface temperatures and drier air, which cyclones certainly do not like. Therefore, it looks like around midweek, the system Barbara may dissipate, or at least be downgraded. Now, I do want to show you that according to the public advisory from the National Hurricane Center, there are some hazards here that we have to definitely, that I want to mention, specifically rainfall across portions of coastal portions of the Mexican states of Guerrero, Michoacan, Colima, and Jalisco through Monday, about 2 to 4 inches of rain. It may lead to flooding and mudslides. Also, swells are being generated by Tropical Storm Barbara, and this will affect portions of the coast of Mexico. That can, by the way, lead to rip currents. And my friends, rip currents are super dangerous. Like, I got caught in a rip current in California years back, and you know, you're just pulled out, and it's like you can't, you have to not panic. You got to kind of, don't try to swim directly into the current. You want to swim out of the current and then to shore. Make sure that you familiarize yourselves with how to escape the pull of a rip current, because they can be incredibly dangerous, even for really proficient swimmers and surfers. So make sure that you're being careful whether you're in the Eastern Pacific or not. So I'm going to jump right back now over to the graphics for Tropical Storm Barbara. Again, if you're along the coast of Mexico, even up towards Baja, we're going to be seeing some swells and definitely some choppy seas, in the open water if you're boating. So now that you have seen what's going on with with Tropical Storm Barbara, I'm going to take you back over here to Tropical Storm Cosme, and this system, as of 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, has been packing winds of 45 miles per hour. This also formed into a tropical storm today, and it also may strengthen into a hurricane. Right now, that's not being listed here or shown here on this map, but it may intensify again before also going into an area of drier air and cooler sea surface temperatures. So I also want to show you, my friends, this is a map of the current sea surface temperatures. And as we can see, these reds down here in the Eastern Pacific, that's up by around 30 degrees Celsius, which is around 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Definitely warm enough for cyclonic development. Over in the Caribbean, we're around the low 80s Fahrenheit, so that's also very warm, and of course it is conducive to cyclonic development. That being said, we are currently not expecting cyclonic development in the Atlantic yet again, as I've mentioned numerous times over the next 7 days. But a new global tropics hazards outlook will be released on Tuesday of this week. The Global Tropics Hazards Outlook that was released by the Climate Prediction Center on June 3rd, which was last week, has been very accurate here of showing areas of potential cyclonic development. We're seeing those reds in the Eastern Pacific and potentially the Western Atlantic. Now, this is ahead a little bit, into the next few weeks, but the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook has been flagging the Eastern Pacific for quite some time. So my friends, I'm going to wrap this video up with just showing you a very quick run of the global forecast system, courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. Now, this was initialized at 18Z, which stands for 18 Zulu time, also known as 18 Universal Time Coordinated. That translates to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes, to do the math backwards. This was initialized at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am in this area, the U.S. Virgin Islands. We're looking at the forecast model for the GFS of what it expects for Monday, June 9th, and Tuesday, June 10th. High pressure is dominating the Atlantic, and it's breezy out there. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. We can see in the Eastern Pacific, the GFS has been spinning up some moisture. That is certainly consistent with what we're just talking about with the tropical systems out that way. And we also see some potential spin-ups in the Western Caribbean and into the Gulf. This area has been very active on the GFS for like several days now. So we're still a little ways out. This is the forecast for the GFS on June 24th. That's still a couple of weeks out, right? But the point is, we've got to watch the Western Caribbean, the Gulf, and of course, if you are in the Eastern Pacific, it's really important to make sure that you are monitoring everything, because we have a third area, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video. We have another area of low pressure that may also form. So our friends off the coast of Mexico and up by Baja, California, keep an eye on everything. And my friends, I will have a new video out on Tuesday, June 10th at the latest. Please hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. If you don't want to miss one of my updates, I will be here in the Caribbean throughout hurricane season, keeping you posted. My friends, thank you so much for watching this video, and stay safe. And as always, I will keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine.